Hello, thanks for joining me for another review. Today we've got a beer from Tiny Rebel out of Newport, South Wales, and this is their Pump Up the Jam Pale Ale, or a Jam Donut Pale Ale if you like. It's coming in at 5%, is it 5%? 5% ABV, 35 IBUs, really bright, loud looking can, 330ml can then. There is a bit of a kind of a, I can't quite make out. It's the 8th of a month, I have no idea, of 2020. It's kind of going across the can there, so whatever. Let's crack into it then. Very bright looking. I've heard some good things about Tiny Rebel the last sort of 6 months or so. I've had a few of their beers, I've reviewed a few, so check out the playlist down below. It really seems to be doing quite well at this moment in time. Put that there, put that there. Beer in a glass then, it's not even, the head is dissipating really quick. It was a half a finger of just off white head. But as you can see, it's a very kind of, I don't know, how do you describe that? Jammy? I don't know. Very dark kind of amber, deep red or whatever, I don't know. It's just come out of the fridge, this can, and it's so warm today. So I thought I'd give this and another of one of their beers a review. So swirl, yeah, hazy, sniff. Wow, yeah. Almost like a raspberry, sweet raspberry jam. Definitely it's got that kind of pastry edge as well, kind of doughy. Pump up the jam. A jam donut pale ale. Whether you can call it a pale ale or not, I don't know. Untapped's calling it an American pale ale. I've never had a pale ale with that kind of name before, but doesn't matter. See what it tastes like, that's the main thing. Cheers. Very sweet. Lovely creamy head now, just reinforced with that semi-aggressive pour. Very kind of confectionery sweet. Whether it's flavourings or whatever it is, I would assume so. Pump up the jam, stop drooling and just drink it. That's what it says on the back. Very sweet. Good, as I said, confectionery sweet. Raspberry. Slightly tart almost. Don't know. Does it work? Yeah, it's well refreshing, 5% ABV. Does it say anything on the back of the can? Brewed and canned at Tiny Rebel, blah 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 blah, Newport, Wales, yeah, blah blah blah. Ingredients: water, malted barley, malted wheat, hops, yeast. And that's it. Doesn't go into anything else, whether it's for allergens including cereals containing gluten, blah blah blah, may contain sediment. Yeah, we kind of get that. Doesn't really go into anything else about the beer on the can, and there's no commercial description on Untapped about what flavouring, so it's a little bit kind of lacking on information, I think. Maybe if you go onto the website there could be some more information on there, don't know. Yeah, 1.7 on the units. See if there's anything on Untapped just to make sure. Oh, there is a bit more on here, but it doesn't really go into, there's nothing quite like a satisfying sweet sticky donut. I mean, that's a donut. There's also nothing quite so it gets, the beer is almost like kind of secondary to the whole kind of deal. There's nothing quite as satisfying as a cold, refreshing pale ale. Yeah, that's true. Blah 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 blah. So they're trying to combine that with blah 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 blah, a drink. So what have they combined? Here we go. After a failed experiment with a pale ale donut, the beer just soaked into the dough and made it mushy. We decided to switch up completely. The old, what's that? Switcharoo. Okay. Put the donut into the beer. Pump up the jam, combines sweet jam flavours with sweet bready malt base. It's a jam donut in a pint glass. No word of a lie. I couldn't drink a pint of it, that's for sure. But that's just me. If you like kind of sweet beers, I think you're going to love this one. I love jam donuts, but I like jam donuts. I kind of knew what I was getting with this one. This was in the... I've always wanted to try it, just to curiosity. Unfortunately, it came in recently in a Beer 52 box, so pretty sure it's Beer 52. Pop up the jam, combine sweet jam flavours, blah 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 blah. We've done all that bit, and yeah, there's not much else to actually add to it. There's no kind of information of what is in it. We have one rule: never just make vanilla ice cream. I mean, it's lost on me, all that kind of jargon, bloody blah. I just like drinking the beer and seeing what I get from the beer. But apart from, I mean, what kind of jam is it? It doesn't say what kind of jam. I think it's more of a kind of a, almost like a blend, like a raspberry strawberry blend. But then is it actual real strawberries or real raspberries? Probably not. I don't know, I'm just guessing. It's very kind of artificial, I'd say. It comes across more of a kind of a novelty beer. Just being completely honest. It's okay. If you like sweet beers, go for it. It's a great summer beer, I'd say, as well. But it's just my personal kind of preference to beer. I mean, calling it a pale ale as well. I like hops. I like that kind of hop kind of flavour in a pale ale. I kind of had an idea what it would be like, and it's kind of confirmed what you get in your head sometimes with some beers. But yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's not unpleasant. It's quite pleasant. It's all right. It's pleasant. It's quite pleasant. And that's about it, really. It's very kind of one-dimensional. There's no other kind of other flavours coming through in the beer apart from the obvious. It's more of a kind of a, rather than a bready malt, to me it's more of a kind of a doughy malt. So they've actually, for what it says on the can, they've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. But for my personal kind of, all these motorbikes, what's all that about? My personal kind of palate and preference, it's not for me. But I appreciate where they're going with it, and they've absolutely nailed it for what it is. But I'm not going to go into, reviewing and giving it a score for what they're saying it is. I'm giving it a score on beer across the board and my palate. It's all right. If you know what you like it. This come in a box. I was kind of wanting to try it 50-50, and now I've got a chance. I'm going to give this beer a 7 out of 10. I think that's fair. It's delivering perfectly what it says on the can. But generally, maybe I need to try a few more of these kind of like out the box kind of beers to form a proper opinion. But I'm just more of a stickler for hazy IPAs. I mean, are okay. They've had some added fruits. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, I've got to waffle all night. So yeah, 7. Did I say 7 out of 10? I can't even remember now. 7 out of 10 for me. Over to Untapped then. This has had 9,674 check-ins. 1,369 in the last 30 days. The weather. 7,876 check-ins then coming in at 3.66. Wow, okay. So that's just a shade over what I'm giving it. So that's not too bad. 59 people who follow me have had this beer. It's coming in at 3.75. So that's a bang on 7.5 out of 10. I'm giving it 7, 3.5 out of 5. And I think that's where it's at, pretty much. Yeah, nice to try, but will I go back to another one? Probably not. Anyway, let me know if you've had this one before. This one's from Tiny Rebel. This is their Pump Up the Jam Doughnut Pale Ale, coming in at 5% ABV. These guys are out of Newport, South Wales. 35 IBUs. Not much bitterness on this. Very low key. Good summer beer. Just for shits and giggles. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've had it before, and I'll clear off, and I'll see you on the next review. Cheers.